Welcome to Triple Overtake, the podcast where we talk all things F1 related. I'm your host, Kylan. With me are my older brother,
Mason,
and my dad.
Bjorn.
Today we're going to go over the Miami Grand Prix in 2026. The first thing we will talk about is the opening lap, and specifically Max spinning.
Well, kind of compromised his race, didn't it?
Sure did.
He definitely flat spotted those tires and needed to go in for a change on lap 7?
Yeah, lap 7.
Lap 7. And then he went long for the rest of the race on those hards, and he raced well. But like I said, definitely compromised his race right away. Good to see him fight back through the pack. Makes you wonder what could have been had that spin not happened, or if he had pitted for another set of tires.
Mm-hmm.
it was a great save though.
It was a great save.
He is pretty good at that.
The next event that we will talk about is Hadjar crashing. He was not happy. You can say that.
Never really is when he has an incident.
No?
We saw that a lot in F2. Unfortunately, we don't get the radio like we used to in F2. It was always good for a chuckle. But yeah, you feel for him. Obviously, that happened in his very first race in F1. Here again, he pushing hard and clips the wall, slams into the wall, ending his race. And you saw the frustration, and you could hear him even though he wasn't mic'd up. But we love to see that passion from him.
Yeah, obviously he was moving his way through the field in the beginning of the race, and I think he might have been able to make it into the points, especially with that safety car. It's a shame that he did crash.
Bright future ahead for him if he can hold it together.
If he can not get intimidated by Max. The next event is Lawson crashing Gasly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we see often with Lawson.
We do. We do like that he races hard. I just like to see him a little more under control when he's in those battles. It makes me wonder how long he'll be at Racing Bulls if this continues, if he continues to put people in the walls and have these incidents. How long will they put up with that? Will we see Solov being promoted next season? I mean, I know we're just into the beginning of 2026 season, but your seats are never safe at Racing Bulls or Red Bull.
They are not.
Never. Let's just talk a little bit about the strategies. I think Russell was the first to pit, and Charles, shortly after, he was not happy with that call, but it didn't seem like that bad of a move. And Kimi, I think, pitting.
Yeah, I think both Mercedes undercut the McLarens, didn't they?
Yeah.
So that was pretty good strategy from both Mercedes cars.
McLaren pit pretty late because I think they expected the rain.
And Lando was not happy with the decision of when they brought him into the pits. Clearly, he thinks the race could have been his. It was a strategy decision. Obviously, the McLarens had the pace in the car. Had they gotten the strategy right, it could have been a different story. A great race from McLaren, though, altogether, having both Lando and Oscar on the podium. But, what could have been? That's the question that Lando's asking. I'm sure they'll talk about that in the debrief as well. But great race from Kimi and great call from Mercedes to bring him in when they did.
And those upgrades from McLaren sure seem to be working well.
Mm-hmm.
So they got something to look forward to.
I mean, they always do go well around Miami. We've seen that past few years. But
That's true.
let's go over the last few laps and Charles spinning, of course. Something you don't really want to see. And he thinks that he could have maybe been on the podium, but it just all kind of fell apart at the end.
Yeah, he was racing well. Like Max, he too saves a spin. It could have been much worse. He was able to finish the race, but it made for a very interesting end of the race. A lot of chaos there in the last few corners. Made for an exciting race. Love to hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, he didn't come away from the spin unscathed. Suspension damage. He had to cut a few corners, gave him some time penalties, but yeah.
Dropped him down to 8th, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yes, and Franco in P7, which is crazy considering his results the past couple of years.
Definitely his best result in F1. Best weekend he's had. He's put it all together. I mean, he was outpacing Pierre throughout the whole weekend. Hopefully we see more of that from him in the future.
Yeah, and let's talk about the Williams double points. They have not had a great start to 2026, but they're clearly doing something right. Again, both back into the points.
I think this is a track that
Mhm.
they do well at year after year as well. So not a big surprise that they'd be back in the points, but good to see them making progress given where they started the year with the car that was overweight. And I think they've been able to bring that weight down, and we see that they're right there battling with those other cars in the midfield. So it's good to see Williams back where we've seen them the last couple of years.
They do have those Mercedes engines, so they will be probably moving forward by getting rid of all that weight and bringing upgrades. I'm sure they'll be fighting closer up towards the top of the midfield soon.
Let's just go to Aston. First time both of their cars have finished the race this season. It's not looking too great for them, but they are improving very slowly.
Yeah, I think they upgraded the car so it stops vibrating as much, so it's not as dangerous to drive anymore. So that's good.
Very good. Like you said, to see them both finish the race, this is a step in the right direction. It's just hard to believe that this is the same team where just a couple years ago Fernando was fighting for podiums, and now here they are at the back of the pack. Makes me wonder how much longer Fernando's going to go. Will this be it? Will he do one more year? Only time will tell, but something to keep an eye on for sure.
Now let's go to our biggest winners and biggest losers of the race. I will start. I think the biggest winner for this race would be McLaren. They are improving quite a bit. Both of them back on the podium. I think it's great to see. As much as they have dominated over the past few years, it's good to see both of them on the podium.
I'd say the biggest winner this weekend, from my perspective, is F1 in general. The first 3 races of the season, a lot of complaints from the drivers, a lot of people not happy, Max being very vocal, people questioning whether or not he would even finish the season if things continued the way they were going. But over this break that we've had, the FIA came back and made some adjustments to the new regs, and we're seeing legitimate racing now, as opposed to the first 3 races. It seemed more manufactured, or Mario Kart racing, as Max called it. But now we have legitimate racing again, what we've become accustomed to seeing. So I think F1 definitely benefited from this break, adjusting the regs and seeing actual racing, which is what the fans want to see and is what the drivers want as well.
My biggest winner for the race would have to be Kimi Antonelli. I think he drove a perfect race, did everything he had to, kept Lando at bay, and yeah, he just was composed the whole race, and he absolutely destroyed George Russell this weekend. And yeah, he is 20 points ahead of George at this moment, and he's won the last 3 races. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
From pole.
Yeah, so he is in good form right now.
Absolutely, he is in good form. I will add a driver to the winners as well. Max looked good. Max looked happy and comfortable behind the car. He's able to get the most out of the car that he'd not been able to get from the earlier 3 races. So to see him fighting back up where he is used to being is good. We like that. Yes, he drives aggressively. I believe it was Carlos was complaining about him as he was making his way through the midfield. But you know what? Max is an aggressive driver, and he can do things that other people just can't do. And it's always fun to watch him race.
I will go into the biggest loser now. I think it has to be Charles. I mean, he was leading the race at one point, got passed by Kimi and Lando. They brought him in, and he was not happy with that decision. And he was fighting for P4, P5 with, I think it was it Oscar? Or was it George?
Oscar.
I think it was Oscar. But obviously he spun and, had damage to his car, and he cut corners and dropped him down to 8th, I think. He could have had a much cleaner and much better weekend, but yeah, it's just a shame.
Biggest loser for me, Charles is a good one, but I will go with George. Because, man, he just was nowhere near Kimi this weekend. And if he wants to have a chance in this championship, he's going to have to up his game. I know he says he's not good at this track, but if you want to win a world championship, you got to be competitive at every single race. So, yeah.
Well, he is heading into Canada, where he won last year, so we'll see if things are turning around for him at that track. But I would agree with that. George did not have a good weekend. Other than George, I think another driver who will be happy to leave Miami will be Nico Hulkenberg. Just did not have a good weekend across the board in the sprint race or the feature race. Just go ahead.
Sorry, you said feature race, and I was just thinking about F2 there.
Sorry, the Grand Prix. You're right. We do watch F2 as well, so we sometimes get our words mixed up, or at least I do. But Nico Hulkenberg, like I said, he'll be happy to leave Miami. I think another one, Pierre would be another one who was being outperformed by Franco. Obviously, he was taken out by Lawson. Nothing he could have done there. No fault of his own. But just leaves questions on the board. What could have been had that not happened? So I think between those two, like a lot of times you have those mechanical failures, issues, whatever. There's not much you can do about that, but they'll be looking forward to the next race and happy to put this one behind them.
Do you guys want to talk about F2 at all?
You want to talk F2 or fantasy? Or
I
both?
think we'll leave. Do we leave fantasy for another episode, or do we?
It's up to you. You're the host.
I'm the host. Let's just talk a little about F2. In the feature race, we had Gabriele Minion first, Dino Beginovic in second, and Rafael Camara in third, and Nicholas Solov is still in the lead.
Like I said earlier, Nicholas Solov's one to keep an eye on. Obviously, he's the Red Bull Junior. There's a lot of talk around him moving up, at least for me. Keep an eye on Lawson in that seat. And we'll see. I'm sure he'll get some free practices this year, and let's see how he performs in those. But keep an eye on him to move up. It's great to see Mini on the podium. Obviously, fought very hard in F3 a couple of years ago. Came in second to Leo Fornaroli. Good to see him on the podium, driving like we know he's capable of doing. And then Dino and Rafa, two Ferrari Driver Academy drivers, both on the podium. Camara, the reigning F3 champion. We expect good things from him in that Invicta. I believe, back-to-back Constructors' Championships in F2. So, yeah, looking for more of that from Camara. Dino's always come close last season, and good to see him on the podium.
Yep, he came all the way from 11th, and it was a wet race, and
He was pulling some crazy moves out there.
he sure was. He seemed to be a very good wet weather driver.
Yeah.
Who else do you got your eye on in F2?
Ooh, Dirkson's always one to watch out for.
He was very quick in that AIX last year. Yeah, as they would call it, a rocket ship.
Now he's got a much better car in the Invicta, and I'm sure he'll be fighting for some more wins later this year.
I would think so, especially in that Invicta. Trying to think, like I said, Solov's the big name, I think, right now. Kamara is the reigning champ. I've been a fan of Dirksen since he first started in F2, just outperforming that AIX for those 2 years, and happy to see him move up to Invicta.
Yeah. I think we'll go to like predictions for Canada. Probably just go for podium for right now. P3, I'll probably put Max. P2, George, and P1, Kimi. I think that Kimi will be able to continue his good run of results, and I think Max will be able to get back up to the podium.
Well, it's hard to disagree with that. Kimi is in fine form right now, so it's hard to pick against him. So I would put him on the top step of the podium. This is a track that George does well at, so I would agree. P2 for George. And I always like Max on the podium, so I'm gonna match yours person for person. Max third.
Oh boy.
You put McLaren's up there? Change it up.
I'm still gonna go Kimi for the win. It's hard to go against that at the moment. I think Mercedes will do well. I guess I can go a little different. You know what? Let's just go Max P2. And maybe a Lando P3.
Lando did look good this last race.
Yes.
And if he can continue that form, again, he could be on the podium very easily. Weather's always interesting in Canada as well, so that will play a factor. Of course, this is the way too early prediction, but just the way things look right now, I like those podiums.
Yeah, obviously looking forward to Canada. It's a very fun track to watch. Always has good races. And I think we're going to do a random prediction. Could be about anything over the course of the weekend. Obviously, Canada's a sprint race, so we could get some interesting variables there. I think that Audi are going to score points once again. I think they'll be able to get over those reliability issues.
I hope so. I need to think about this one for a while.
I haven't thought about this at all.
Bold prediction for Canada. Well, while I'm thinking, I'm just going to say F2 will be returning to Canada. Just back to F2 is their first race in North America at Miami, and I think the racing was great in the sprint race and the feature race, and hopefully they'll be coming back in future years. I would expect a bigger turnout of fans in Canada. Again, looking forward to F2 in Montreal. Bold prediction. Well, if you listen to the introduction, you know I'm an Esteban Ocon fan, so I'm gonna go bold and say Esteban scores a good haul of points, whatever that means.
Good haul.
Another podium?
Oh, I wish. I do enjoy an Esteban podium. They are rare.
Very rare.
What did you say? Audi points? Oh.
Double points or just points?
I'll go that both of them score over the weekend.
In the sprint race?
In either.
Ooh. This is hard.
I'm just going to, I'll let you think. I'm going to go for another prediction. Go that two teammates have a collision at some point over the race weekend.
Oh no.
Could be the McLarens again. Could be the Mercedes.
Could be the Racing Bulls.
The Racing Bulls.
Could be the Cadillac drivers. I'll back up a little bit. I'll give you more time to think. I think Cadillac had a good weekend as well. They're continuing to make progress week after week, or race after race. It's good to see them making those improvements, given the fact that they are a brand new team. Yes, they started at the back of the pack, but they're showing good updates and packages, and at least behind the hands of Checo, they're looking strong, getting stronger, I should say.
Well, my bold prediction is going to be Max Verstappen to win the sprint race.
Hasn't he won most of the sprint races?
Like he has like 12 or something.
Yeah, but
Given where they started this year.
yeah, I think the upgrades will start working, and I just believe in Max, and it's kind of a bold prediction. So,
Where do you see Isaac or Isak? I don't really know how to pronounce it. Where do you see him finishing in the sprint and race Grand Prix?
honestly, he might not score points in the sprint race, since it's only the top 8 that score. You never know, the Alpines could be good again. And yeah, Hadjar has been slightly off the pace of Max. Well, maybe a little bit more than slightly, as most of the second seat Red Bull drivers have been.
I would agree with that. I think 8th tends to be the ceiling for Isaac at this point. I think as he comes to grips with the car, that will only go up. But yeah.
He had a great qualifying in Australia, P3, but obviously he had that DNF, but I don't know where that pace went. I mean, he clearly had it at the beginning, but
Will we see a Hadjar podium this year?
I think surely. He's too good of a driver. It's too good of a car not to, at some point, get on the podium.
Will we have any new winners this year?
That seems unlikely, I would say.
Yeah.
Since, because Hadjar won last year, right? Did he win a race? Yeah.
No, he got 3rd.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was just a podium.
He got third.
He got a podium. Yeah.
Because yeah, that he would be the only one out of the top 4 teams that hasn't won a race. So I just can't really see Hadjar winning a race this year. So I'd have to say no.
I know Gasly has already won a race before, but I think that if that Alpine stays this good and something crazy happens, I mean, he's a good driver. He could definitely get up there.
And we've seen Alpines on the podium in Brazil when strange weather happens. So you never know. How about Charles? Do you think Charles will return to the top step of the podium at some point this year?
It's not looking too great for Ferrari right now. They have kind of declined in pace. I think they can improve. I think that one of them will get to the top step.
I don't think Ferrari lost pace at all. I think McLaren have just gained pace, and now they're fighting with Ferrari. And I think Max will be fighting with Ferrari as well. Possibly, hopefully, the Mercedes for my predictions.
I mean, over the last couple of years, McLaren definitely wins the upgrade race. They know what they're doing back at the shop, and they can bring upgrades that work from Friday all throughout the weekend. So whatever they're doing a good job over there at McLaren.
Yeah, as we saw in the race, Kimi passing Charles, Lando passing Charles, he just didn't have the pace. I mean, again, this is a good track for McLaren, but yeah, it's not looking too great.
Maybe next year will be their year, finally.
Maybe.
But unlikely. If Mercedes can keep up their pace.
And
But you never know.
of course, we're getting V8s in, it sounds like 2031, possibly 2030. I mean, that's a good thing. I think these engines aren't really suited to the way the F1 should be. I think that it's good to see F1 taking steps to make these issues better, as well with the changes in the regulations.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that they made the changes. I know for myself, I was contemplating if it stays like this, I don't know how much longer I can keep watching. It just that manufactured racing and pass and repass and ad nauseum. But this was good. This was a good weekend. I'm back on board with F1. I don't want to be a fair weather fan with F1. I love F1. I definitely enjoy it. It's my favorite sport. So I'm glad they figured this out. And they're trending in the right direction.
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
You got no other predictions for us to make?
I don't think so. Want to go all the way down to P10? I don't know.
No, that's way too hard.
Do you want to talk about fantasy?
Join F1 Fantasy.
It's
fun.
It's fun. As much as Mason says every year that he's not going to do it, he always does. I have been first quite a few times these past couple of years.
Alright, stop bragging.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
That's
give them...
true.
I'm not doing too great this season. I think I'm like first, second, and third in our leagues. I should probably talk about what our leagues are. Our first one is just normal. You can pick any team, change it. Our second one is a draft. And now there's 3 of us. Each of us get 11. There's a total of 33 options you can pick from. And we each get 11, and we can only choose from those 11 on our teams for the weekend. And then the third one we set in the first week, and we cannot change it the entire season.
No changes.
And no chips.
No chips.
Which, by the way, this last weekend, my no changes, no chips team, granted it's provisional points at this point, but they were my best performing team, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. I was thinking about going to McLaren on my first team. I ended up not doing it because I wanted to get more budget with Haas. That didn't really work out, but, it's always hindsight 2020.
And I did get McLaren instead of Mercedes, and I outscored you. So I actually did something right for once. But I usually start out the season pretty well in fantasy, but then I kind of just drop off towards the end, and you pass me at the end.
Kylan's pretty good about building budget and figuring out the algorithms and all that. He's kind of a math whiz. I go with my gut, and I think my gut has been wrong the last few years. So
Yeah, I've been trusting more in my gut these past few races, and it has not ended up well. I've been between 2 options most of the time, and I always pick the wrong one. So I just need to go against my gut, I guess.
You gotta be like me and don't even think about it.
that's true.
Just don't think too much, I should say.
Or when you get locked out of fantasy and you can't make changes for 4 weeks, that's always fun too.
You weren't going to finish good in any of the leagues anyway.
I wasn't.
That
That
was
certainly
last year.
didn't help.
I don't think we have anything else to add to that. I think that will be it for our second episode. And goodbye from Triple Overtake.